Welcome to Small Lathe. I have a small 2 kilogram cast iron weight. Now this is something I got from the scrapyard. Cost me, I don't know really how much it cost me. They always give you a number for the total. They never tell you this costs X and this costs Y. So what to do with that? Well, we're going to make a base, a mount for my camera. Right, that is really nice. Now I didn't want to get all the rust out, so we got a layer of black iron oxide on this thing, and all the pits had collected all throughout its life. It gives it a nice sort of historical aspect, and I really like it. So now we can see a mark, one here, and definitely one over there. And it's not going to ruin the piece, it's just going to, well, give it another life. Now this down here below, I really don't know what that is. Let me check that out. Now that's metal. Okay, I thought that's wood because of all the dirt, I couldn't see it, but I'm trying to drill through and it shows really, don't know if you can see it, bright metal. Just scraping the surface. Good. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Alright, so we have 3 nicely drilled holes. Time for phase 2. I'm going to put some boiled linseed oil beeswax. That's a 3-to-1 boiled linseed oil to 1 unit of beeswax. And this stuff really protects against rust nicely because linseed does harden. And this is something that you want to be aware of because you don't want to leave a linseed soaked rug anywhere because it might catch on fire. So if you're using linseed, be aware that it may catch on fire. So I'm protecting this. And if you want to make your own, first of all, I have a video, but take my tip for it. Make sure you first melt the beeswax, then add the linseed oil because it reeks. Guys, it really reeks. But it's very good. Alright, we're back at the bottom shop. We've got the base here, but we need to connect the springs that will stabilize the shaft to something. Now on my base, which you can't see, I do have extra holes, but I want to use the new base. So we need some sort of a mount that will connect to the main shaft or somehow enable it to function properly. So the way to do that is I'm going to turn this scrap piece, basically speaking. We'll start by facing it, drilling it to the right diameter, which is 10 millimeters, and then we'll flip it, drill and tap. So let's get to it. it should be nice and ready. And gleaming hot too, so I'm gonna have to be careful with that too. Get my tweezers, get it out. Ooh, we got a nice burr there. Not that I care. It's on tail mill, and it's not as hot as I thought. Not bad. Not bad at all. How do we drill right through and tap it M6? That's a good question. The answer is like that. A 4-jaw chuck can do that. Now we just got to be sure that it's fairly centered. I'm going to eyeball it. No, don't need it super duper highly accurate. It's clean inside and out. We got a nice finish there. So these are the lug nuts. These are the nuts that will be holding actually against the wood part here. So all we need to do now is install it. So I'm going to have to clean everything up here, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So now you see the old base, which is actually two-part. Scrap aluminum and scrap copper, basically speaking. So let's take the mount off, and this is the camera mount. If you're new to the channel, I've done that in a recent video, and there's usually a plug here. So we're going to put this away, put this over here, right dead center, and it's just a shy short, like a centimeter and a half, almost an inch, like 3/4 of an inch. Let's install it. It's a lot heavier though. This weighs something like 1 kilogram, and this is a lot more. Right, so this is nice and tight. I like it. So I'm going to put 2 eye bolts to connect the springs, and these are pull strings. Happens to be the only more or less sized set I've got, but that's going to be good enough because we only need 2. Now the springs won't fit in there, so we got a washer here, or a tiny washer, and we're just going to connect them like so. Get one plier there, and just lock it. I'm not going to apply huge amount of string pressure here. We don't need that, so it's going to be perfectly good enough for us. And tighten that, and that's good enough. One's done. So second's done. Let's connect these and just thread them into place. And we got spring tension there. So let's do the same for these, although we really don't have to. We can actually connect these as we wish. So let's flip that for a second. Put that over there. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to wrong one. Wrong side. There we go. So I'm going to put this on. This is a 10mm shaft. This is a 10mm hole. This is already tight enough. So let's connect it and making sure that nuts are not holding anything. We get it fairly nice and snug, and we can always lock it a bit further with these. That should be good enough. I'm going to put the cap on. There's a hole drilled there. Helps if you put it the right way up. Okay, so I'm putting the cap back on. I'll rethread this one just by hand right now. Later on, off camera, I'll just make sure I connect it tightly. There we go. That should be plenty strong. Okay, so we got this set up. So let me tense that up while you can see what I'm doing. Great. So I'm going to release that. I'm not really applying a lot of tension here. Applying a little bit of tension there. And just coiling it. Now why am I doing that? Because we can move. If we can open the main shaft here. We can unlock this, which is pretty tight right now, and we can move back and forward. So this will alter the springs that are located over here, alter their pull force. So I would, if need be, if I want to film something that's really far reached out and I need more length, I can just uncoil this and get the full length I need. One last thing, these are a bit pricky at the very end, so just fold them like so onto themselves, and that solves this issue. And now I've got this set up. 8, 9, 10. 3 seconds. Wonderful, we got a much better setup. So we're using the same thing. Let me show you actually what I'm doing. I'm going to plug out the power. Alright, get the camera out. So there goes our setup there. Going all the way back to the end of the post. So the post goes like this. Camera sits over here. Ignore the mess around. And there goes our tool. So the backhand is actually what's doing most of the vibration. And by connecting to the backhand, we can get actually a 3-second vibration, and that's it. So that's 3 times better than the last. So I'm very, very pleased. And this setup is the fixed setup, so we're done. I'm really, really pleased with that. This spring is a lot stronger than this spring. This is why this one is so torqued. I don't have a set of identical springs. I'm gonna buy some. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a sweet day.